My name is Mrs. Matilda Addo. I was born in Ghana in 30th of October 1964. Went to school in Ghana and then was doing my own thing in Ghana. I was first a nursing assistant with one of the hospitals in Ghana, which was a teaching hospital, whilst I was doing my own petty trading until I met my husband in 2003, who brought me to UK. When I came, I saw that this place is quite different from Africa. Talking about food, yeah, it's really, from the beginning, there was not a lot of African shops in Liverpool, so I was really finding it very difficult to, satisfy my food. My basic
food needs.
Food needs. And then whereas in Africa, you can just walk to somebody's house, your friend's house, you see family, you see friends every day. But here, it's like time is limited. Everybody, time is money, as I would say it, for most of us. So you hardly see your friends or family. Even on the phone, calling them was a bit difficult. So my first 3 months to 6 months, I wanted really to go back home, because that has not been the life that I was leading back home.
How did you manage then to overcome all of these initial problems and still stay here so many years after?
So all that I did was to soak myself in. All that I did was to soak myself in work, because when you go out there to work, you meet people to talk to. Despite the stress of the job, but you still want to go out to work to earn a living, to pay your bills. So socialization was really limited as compared to back home in Africa. Stressful, especially with those who can talk. Let's say if you have a long day with them, it is really stressful. But there again, you are trained, so you know how to go about the job. And sometimes most of the times there are big bits of challenges, because excuse my words, being the black woman or a black person, there are some that really don't like us. So sometimes it becomes really challenging. And they try to call you all sorts of names, but if you report, they tell you it's the nature of the job, because the person is not mentally sound.
What type of names do they sometimes call you?
I've been called a nigger before, I've been called a black bastard before, I've been called a monkey before, I've been called all sorts. I just don't like you, I hate you, don't come to my house again.
But when you accept abuses like that, how do you manage to go to the extent of giving personal care to people like this? How do you manage that?
You report to your superior, your line manager. Then they tell you that, Matilda, just give them some space, and then later on approach in this and this way. Sometimes it works, sometimes the person just don't like you, so they have to take you out of the house. And then they tell you it's the nature of the job, the person that don't even understand what she or he is saying. You meet all sorts, even in the city center, when you've gone shopping, where you enter a lift and in brackets, a white person is coming. As soon as he pushes his prawn in and sees you, the black fellow, she just goes back, and she wouldn't. There are some too that you meet and you give a smiling face and they just go like this. There are some that when you are walking in the city center, you see their baby in the pram, or they are walking with their children, and the child try to hold you, or then their mother will just pull their faces, and it's a visual circle, you know. I remember the last time that I went to my GP. My GP, I understand there was this local doctor that has come in, and the appointment was, my husband goes in and I follow 15 minutes later. My husband's appointment was at 10. My husband's appointment was at 10:15, and mine was at 10:30. I got in with my husband, and once he finished with my husband and I started to tell the doctor about what was happening, the doctor said, no, I will have 15 minutes with you. I said, doctor, why don't you let me start, because I've just come in. And the look on the doctor's face and everything, I just didn't feel comfortable, and I feel I wasn't treated well. I don't know whether because 2 black people came in at the same time or what. I don't have to think for her, but I think I wasn't treated well. I deal in youth clothing, use shoes, and use electricals.
How does that work?
Oh, with the used shoes and youth clothing, I don't have a problem. But the used electricals, I don't buy secondhand. Even though they are secondhand, but I buy working ones because I've got a shop that I put in. But
Here in the UK?
No, back in Africa.
Oh, so you buy stuff here and send back to Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah. What got you into that business, and why that particular line of business?
Because I was thinking very soon, me and my husband will retire and go home. So.
Oh, you go back to Africa?
Yeah.
But a lot of people, that's what they say. Oh, we'll stay here for 5 years, 10 years and go back, and they end up not going back. Are you sure you go back?
Home is home.
Yes and no. Home is home. How often do you go back to Ghana?
I go to Africa about 3 or 4 times a year.
Okay. That's because you are doing a business?
Yeah, because I'm doing a business, yeah. That is why the few leaders, the few leaders who happen to be politicians, use us to make our money, because because there are no jobs. We go to church for miracles, and what is miracles? A politician will come and tell you blah blah blah, and you feel that your miracle is there, or for the small amount of money too, for a living. But if you've got job and you are working, you wouldn't be at church for 24/7. Talking about church in Africa, how many rich people or politicians will you see them in church 24/7?
That's a good point.
You understand? All these so-called pastors who claim to see people's mothers as wizards and witches and so on. Can you tell a rich man or a rich politician that the mother is a witch? No. So it's only the poor, the masses. They suffer all these. And this is not fair.
How can you change that? Is there any way to change people not being drunk on religion in Africa?
I can't do that alone. We all have to put it together. Usually, we have a girls association. We are about 5 in number, 4 Ghanaians and one Nigerian. We always try to have time for ourselves, and when we go out, I mean, all these 4 girls, some of them have done their masters, some of them have done their master, they are doing their masters, some is in the uni, and then I, who happen to be the oldest amongst them, I do my own thing. So we are sort of, we've got a level of people who are intellectuals. So when we are going out, we really know where we are going and where to go and what to do. Women, excuse me to use the words, are bitchy. Women, we have a lot of problems. Women always tend, oh, this one is talking about me, this one is looking about me. That is why women can't come together. Women are always competing. Women are always competing. That is our problem. We always suspect that this one is doing this one has said this one has looked at me. So if we can take all these things from our life and be level-headed and stand up as women, we can unite better. But with all this bitchiness, my brother, it's going to be difficult.
How practically, how do you take away the bitchiness? What do you do? Are you bitchy?
I am not, because I'm a carefree woman. I only tell you what. If you do something I don't like it, I'll look in your face and tell you that, look, this, that. But how many people can stand up to me like the way I'll do? Somebody will be offended, he'll just call back in a shell. Others too, like me or the group that I am in, we are 5. That is why we don't even want to bring in all sorts. We understand ourselves. We are all married women with children. We understand ourselves. People want to join us. We said no, our 5, we are okay. So even if there is an issue among us, we try to solve it internally.